In a sentimental address, the nation's first black attorney general thanked the president for giving him the opportunity he called the greatest honor of his life. But Mr. Holder's legacy is not without controversy. Back in 2012, he became the first sitting cabinet member to be held in contempt of Congress after refusing to turn over documents subpoenaed the previous year by the committee headed by my next guest. Congressman Issa is chairman of the Oversight and Government Reform Committee. Congressman, good to see you tonight. And so, Mr. Chairman, the Fast and Furious investigation is the one in which he was held in criminal contempt. A civil contempt case is still proceeding against him. Will it continue now that he's leaving?
Yes, it will. And remember, Megyn, the goal is to get the documents that were withheld. And on October 1st, the Justice Department will either have to file yet another appeal or turn over what lawyers like yourself understand, a privilege log. This will be the first time in history, but a federal judge appointed by the president, in fact, has ordered that because their grounds that they shouldn't turn over what is effectively the materials related to their lie and cover-up of the Fast and Furious project that led to the murder of Brian Terry. That's really what we're looking for, and we believe the Terry family and the American people have a right to know.
So that is ongoing and will continue. Do you believe that he is stepping down, for reasons that are not political, that he's just had enough?
And now he does everything for political reasons. He's often described himself as an activist. He certainly admits that he wears two hats, one of them political, and announcing before the election that he's turning back. But in fact, no chance that he'll be replaced prior to the election is a political event like so many things the Attorney General has done. He could have waited till the day after the election. Very clearly, he wanted to get out in front of it before the election.
Because the Republicans
I think that political calculation says a lot about an Attorney General who has politicized an office that is supposed to be the highest law enforcement officer in the land.
Let's talk about it, because obviously you're not a Holder fan. I mean, that's obviously clear. You guys...
We have a special relationship.
You do, very special. You butted heads many times. But the president came out today and said, to the American people, these are the things I believe he's done, and he's done well. And these are just a couple of examples. He's prosecuted hundreds of terror cases. He's routed out corruption and fought violent crime. He's tackled financial fraud. He's dealt with attacks on the Voting Rights Act. He helped bring down the crime rate and the incarceration rate by 10% over the last 6 years, and that's why the president said he's done a superb job.
Well, the men and women of the Justice Department, career professionals, and the U.S. attorneys deserve the credit for a great deal of that. This Attorney General has chosen to politicize his office. He's selectively gone after an awful lot of lawful citizens, and he's, just simply not done his job well. Now, having said that, I'm sure in his mind he's done the best he could. He certainly has served his president in the way his president wants to be served. But to a certain extent, Megyn, that's part of the problem, is that if the president's satisfied with an attorney general whose own inspector general had to testify only a week ago before Congress to tell us that he had been obstructed time and time again from doing his job, his independent job in the case of overseeing parts of the Justice Department, then I think the president's listening to himself and not listening to the Inspector General that was appointed and confirmed by the Senate to be the watchdog there in justice.
Do you know that many people say that he is ideologically aligned perfectly with the president? Many people believe if you want to know what President Obama really thinks, look to what Eric Holder thinks. And the New York Times had a headline today saying, particularly in President Obama's second term, Mr. Holder has been the most prominent liberal voice of the administration, and ticked off some examples. Do you believe that, first of all, that they are completely ideologically aligned, and do you believe that his replacement will be similar?
Well, it's hard for me to say how close they're aligned. He certainly does seem to be close to the president, along with Valerie Jarrett and others. But I think there's very little chance there'll be somebody similar that could be confirmed by the Senate.
Well, can he get him in before the Democrats are at risk of losing the Senate?
Senators absolutely, positively, even after this election, even if the Senate changes hands during the lame duck, they're not going to have a lightning rod like Eric Holder. Remember, Eric Holder is the man who issued the opinion that pardoning Mark Rich while he was still on the lam in the last days of the Clinton administration were okay.
Yeah.
This is not the type of individual
tax
that
cheat
would be
ever,
confirmed.
as O'Reilly described him. Congressman, good to see you. Thank you so much, Chairman Issa.
Thank you.